troopresource.org, trying to put 1,000 skills into every troop's backpack.
Welcome everybody to the Troop Resource Show. Tonight we are talking about local parks and the benefit of getting involved with organizations that support those parks. And of course we have with us here Randy, the man, Hardy.
Randy Hiking Hardy tonight.
Randy Hiking Hardy. I'm your host Scott Newman, and tonight we have with us George Gorman and Bob Fox. Welcome.
Hello. Good night, everyone.
So, as I mentioned, it's great to get involved with groups like this. So I'm going to throw it over to you guys and say, tell me a little bit about your group and how the Scouts might be involved.
Okay, we're with the Friends of Smedley Park. It's a group that we started 2 years ago to help improve Smedley Park, which is a Delaware County park for anybody not familiar with it. And we work with the county and we work with other interested people to try to improve the nature of the park for the enhancement of everybody's joy in using it. And in doing so, we're not only trying to improve it, but also we have some opportunities for people like Scouts, when we have volunteer work, to go forward to get some individual projects in there too.
That's awesome. And I understand that you had an Eagle project that...
last year, Eagle Scout project was George, I forget his last name. There was a area that had drainage problem, like part of the trails. It had a drainage problem and constantly getting washed over and eroded. He built a drainage pipe underneath it.
Awesome, really?
Yeah, so, and it basically, we checked it out the other day. It's holding up really good and
fantastic. And you had a bridge there. You were telling me about that earlier.
That was a different one.
Okay.
That was an older one. That was a bridge built years. I don't know how many years ago, but it was built years ago. It was like maybe 20 feet long over a run, and a tree fell about 2-3 years ago and destroyed the bridge basically. So the tree's sitting there, the bridge is half sitting there.
Right.
And one of the things we need to be done is to clear that out and hopefully get another one built.
Okay. So the bridge is still there. It's damaged. Do you need people to clean it out? How?
Oh yeah,
it's like half hanging off. Like it's not that high. It's only like 5 feet off the ground.
So we got another potential Eagle project here.
There's several in the park.
Clearing that bridge.
Yeah, we have put together a list of potential park. Now this list is focusing on the Springfield Trail. The Springfield Trail just last Saturday celebrated its 50th anniversary. In anticipation of that, a group of us cleared the trail. Jason Thompson, who a lot of Scouts may know, he kind of spearheaded the effort.
I know Jason Thompson.
He spearheaded the effort to get
popular.
Get the trail.
I wouldn't go that far.
Get the trail cleared and put in some temporary blazes on it. It's a little over 5 miles, and 1/3 of it goes through Smedley Park, and the other 2/3 go through 3 Springfield Township parks. So it's quite a nice hike for anybody who's in. You get a little bit of elevation gain out of it, and along that trail, as we were cleaning it, we identified a number of places where we could use some volunteer help to improve that trail.
And you put together a list.
We put together a list, and I'll share it with you.
Great.
And
I'm actually gonna. Is that this one right here? All right. So I'm gonna hold this up to the camera right here. This is what it looks like. A nice list of all these different projects, and we've got 3-4 pages of potential projects here. So that's just absolutely awesome.
And that does not include potential projects just within Smedley Park. That we're still working on that.
Oh, okay.
This is just projects along the Springfield Trail.
Now, are these Eagle type projects, or are they just service hours?
Some are service hours. Some could turn into Eagle projects.
Okay, very cool, very cool. So tell me a little bit more about the history of Smedley Park. And you said your organization started 2 years ago.
Yes.
A little bit more about that.
Well, several of us found out about it from each other, or from I met Kevin Dion, who's our president, at a Western Suburbs bike conference, and then he met Jason Thompson, who's our vice president, at another group, and I forget how you found out about it.
I think I saw maybe a sign on the ground for a project, and I found the Facebook page from that sign. I liked the Facebook page, so I think I was the first person to like the Facebook page. And I got an email from you.
Awesome.
Bob's been using the park for 30 or 40 years.
Yeah. My parents grew up in like Delaware County. Well, my mom's side of the family grew up in Delaware County, and they came here in the 50s and 60s, and they have photos from like the 60s of them on
Right.
the park.
And for people who are unfamiliar with it, Smedley Park is bisected by the Blue Route and also by Crum Creek. Half of it's in Nether Providence Township and half of it's in Springfield Township. The current entrance to it is Paper Mill Road off of Baltimore Pike. Smedley
Next to it.
Park has been it's named after Samuel Smedley, who was the first park director in the county. And it may be, I forgot it, I should have done my homework beforehand. It may be the first county park.
Okay.
But it's about 140 acres, thereabouts. And it's also cut by the trolley from Media to 69th Street.
Yes.
And there's a trolley stop right on Paper Mill Road, so you can actually get to it by trolley. You don't have to drive to it if you want to go in that way.
I had forgotten about that.
So it's a very interesting way. And I've led some hikes there with the Appalachian Mountain Club and the Chester County Trail Club. And we just meet there on Paper Mill Road and off we go.
Nice.
And you can hike for several miles within Smedley. And then if you want to make a 5-mile loop out of it, you pick up the Springfield Trail.
Okay.
Or you can pick up the Smedley Leaper Trail in the Nether Providence, or go underneath Baltimore Pike and loop through.
I had
Swarthmore
no
College.
idea there were that many trails in that
And walk through,
area.
and you make a 10-mile loop out of it, going under Baltimore Pike and walking through Swarthmore's 340-acre campus.
Wow, we have scouts that need 10-mile hikes, right?
It's a figure eight.
As part of their merit badge?
Once again, Scott, your information is incorrect. It's a 5-mile hike for rank advancement,
Okay.
and then for the
For the
merit
merit badge,
badge
you
for
need a
hiking,
10-mile hike.
you need 2 5 miles.
Yes.
You need 2 10 miles.
See, I like him.
Okay.
You need 2
a
5 miles,
a 15
a 10 mile.
and a 20.
Yeah, well, I knew that, but part of
you
it's
didn't-
10.
You didn't get it out properly. You know, another interesting factoid, you mentioned the Leaper Trail. Do you know the significance of the Leaper Trail, or what predated the Leaper Trail? And
The leaper frog predated the trail.
I may know, but I don't know enough to
the,
tell you.
the first commercial railroad in the United States ran along Crum Creek, from right behind Swarthmore College all the way down to the Delaware River.
Okay.
And the Leapers were quarrymen.
Yes.
They quarried granite, and then they put that granite. Well, initially they put the granite on barges that were pulled by donkeys, and then down to the Delaware and up to Philadelphia to build a lot of the houses in Old City.
So let me get this straight. There's a quarry somewhere here, like there was in Springfield.
There were many quarries. What the Leapers did is they actually just went up Crum Creek and just cleft off the granite that was exposed and,
Okay.
and readily. And then they would, when they would
built the railroad.
well, they built the railroad years later when railroads came into existence.
So where's the railroad track now?
There are remnants of the railroad track that are still visible off of Boland's Lane down. Boland's Lane runs from Fairview over to can't remember the other.
Well, it's kind of, there's 2 Bullen's lanes, but
Yeah.
basically from Fairview over to Route 320.
But as they cleft off all of the exposed granite, they would just keep moving further up. So it's not actually in natural, pristine shape. They took a lot of the granite off. There's a lot of cliffs missing. But there still are some of those original cliffs in Smedley on the Springfield Trail.
Right.
And that is, to me, that's one of the most pristine spots. It is the most pristine spot in Springfield. When you get to the area from between Jane Lowndes and to where Lowndes Run meets Crum Creek, it's like 100-foot drop in
Yes.
some
Yeah,
spots. Yeah. And
Well, to your point, on
I'm sorry,
June the
still your-
22nd, Saturday, June 22nd of this month,
Right.
Friends of Smedley Park is sponsoring a hike. It's called Ancient Rocks and Old Trees. It's going to be led by a naturalist and historian to discuss some of the things you're talking about.
oh, spoiler alert.
So, well, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
very
awesome.
cool.
So everybody's welcome.
So, you meet
Except
at
Jason
Smedley
Thompson,
Park?
right?
Yes,
Except
you-
Jason Thompson.
You can get on the Facebook page of the
Sorry,
Friends
Jason.
of Friends of Smedley Park. We have a
Right.
Facebook page and a website. and you can get on the Facebook page.
I'm going to take us there
the detail-
right now.
the
Actually, I think there is a limit of people who can go. I think it's
Oh.
50 people.
Oh.
One of the pages said that.
Okay.
50.
Sorry, Jason. 50.
Well, here is the Friends of Smedley Park right here on their Facebook page. And you get to that just by going up to the search area of Facebook and typing in Friends of Smedley Park. You'll see a nice tree logo, and you'll click on that, and it'll take you here to this page. And here they talk about their upcoming event of ancient rocks and old trees along Crum Creek. So that's
It's going to be
absolutely
at 9:30 in the morning.
9:30 in the morning. Okay, awesome.
Since you're talking about Facebook pages, I'll put in a plug for the Facebook page for the Springfield Trail.
Okay.
That's a second Facebook page which sometimes overlap because the Springfield Trail is under the umbrella of the Friends of Smedley Park, but we cover different things and you'll find different things of interest for yourselves there.
Great. Well, let's go out here. I just typed in Springfield Trail here. Click on the link, and here's the icon for Springfield Trail. And here you can see the Springfield Trail Facebook page as well. Let's close that up. Very nice. Fantastic. Awesome. So everybody's gotten a look at that as well. So you had given me actually a third document here, which I think was celebration. That was the celebration right here.
Celebration
Is
of
that
the
the
Springfield
22nd?
Trail. No, that was last Saturday.
Oh, this was last
We had
Saturday.
the 50th anniversary of the Springfield Trail, and in recent years it had gotten overgrown, and under the direction of Jason Thompson, who, as I mentioned, spearheaded
Jason
the group.
again.
Yes. The trail got cleaned up and temporary blazes put on it, and it's a 5-mile loop, and it's a nice hike. And
So what that means to all of our viewers is if you've been out to Smedley Park in the past and tried to hike the trails and they were overgrown, go back because they've been cleared up, which ought to be
Yes.
awesome.
Also, on the Springfield Trail, we had to move it before it crossed over SEPTA tracks a couple of locations. So we had to move it on the Sproul Road over the overpass and back down. So those areas, some are a little tricky. Like we definitely could use some help with that, making it a little easier. Like there's a steep incline at one part, like so, it'd be a good project for the scouts.
What are you looking for? Stairs?
Like not like official stairs, but
Possibly.
like something like
Possibly,
rocks
okay.
or stairs. Yeah, if we can.
Okay. Awesome.
And where's that section again?
That's right by Sproul Road.
Oh, where they just cleared it.
Yeah, like
There used to be a
right
house-
above, like the
the trolley
station
tracks,
of
yeah.
the Springfield Mall. Like
Opposite the trolley station. Yeah.
Because they used to cross the tracks on the trail. Now they can't do it anymore. So you have to go up on the Sproul over the.
Actually, when I was a kid, that trail used to go up the hill that is now Golfview Estates.
yes.
And it used
That's
to,
what I was talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, it was near the top of the ridge line, but not the
Yes.
tippy top. Yeah.
Well, we had the clearing out the bottom below Golfview Estates next to Whiskey Run. That gets overgrown because it's very moist.
Right.
And it gets overgrown very quickly. And that got cleared out 2 weeks ago. So if you haven't been there in that area in a month, it's totally different.
Yeah.
And what we talked about, the SEPTA, we were negotiating with SEPTA to what we could and what we couldn't do. And some of the changes are because SEPTA did not want a public trail being
Crossing their tracks.
mapped. Yes.
Okay. I understand that.
So that's a good question. So when you come up from Smedley, the Springfield Trail, to 320, where Jason just cleared it, where does the trail go from there once you hit 320?
You come up,
Onto 320, cross towards the Springfield Mall
on the
then-
sidewalk.
Yeah, on the sidewalk, and then back down the SEPTA steps.
Stairs, okay.
Yeah, and then you can walk along the trail, along the tracks, back into the trail.
in the Thompson Park.
Park. Gotcha. I was just wondering how that was. And I thought it was the stairs. That was the only way I could imagine. Because otherwise you'd have to cross 320, and you'd still have to cross the railroad tracks if you didn't use the stairs.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
correct.
Just wondering so people.
Then you went to jaywalk 322.
Yeah, true, and we don't want to do that.
Right.
And actually, Thompson Park is a nice little park too.
Yes, about 17 acres.
It's small, but it's.
And then that leads you eventually into Woodland Park, which is about 27 acres, and then you take this Route 320. I mean, take Woodland Avenue up to the corner where Giant is, make a left on 320, and you go behind Hancock Church.
Does this have all of those trails on it, or just
No, that is just
Park?
Smedley Park. The other one
Okay.
that I gave you has the Springfield Trail.
Okay. Great. So that's this bad boy right
And we
here.
have a walking guide to that, which if it isn't on there, I think we can get that onto our Facebook page to
Okay.
help people. We had a few people join us last Saturday who had lived in the area but had no idea that trail existed. And it was an interesting experience for people who've never been it to find solitude in some places surrounded by suburbia.
Right. Awesome.
You'd be amazed, like, people all the time ask me, like, where do you walk your dog? I said, Smedley Park. Like, where's that? I'm like, right in between Springfield Mall and the Blue Route. Like, you can't miss it. Like, they drive by all the time. There's
Right.
sign out front, and they just don't notice it.
Right.
Like, they're missing out. It's a beautiful park.
You have to look for it.
Mhm.
You
We're
really
trying
do.
to get more signs and bigger signs and better signs.
Oh, the county is going to be putting up new signs outside the park and also in the park.
Great.
To not only mark the entrances to the park, but also to mark the trails. And county council just approved a grant proposal. They're going to put in a handicap access trail, which will start at the trolley tracks and Paper Mill Road and go for
Okay.
about a mile.
Nice.
Up across Crum Creek and then up to where the ball fields start.
Nice.
So,
Now there's a Penn State unit.
Penn State Extension, it's their
Extension.
agricultural extension there. And a matter of fact, if you're ever in the park and you're looking for trail maps for Smedley Park itself, we keep some in a slot outside the Penn State Extension.
Okay. So if you come in, you got to take that sort of overpass
Yes.
bridge and then go up the hill.
Right.
So what else should we know before our show ends tonight?
We would like people to come and enjoy the park,
Great.
become members of the Friends of Smedley Park. We could always use more friends. Like us on Facebook.
How do you become a member of Friends of Smedley Park?
You simply contact us through the website or through the Facebook page.
Okay. And the website is
SmedleyPark.org.
smedleypark.org. Here's what Friends of Smedley Park looks like. Nice website there. Discover Smedley Park. Nature and Wildlife. Plan your visit. This is an awesome page. I
We're
never
still
knew this
working on,
page was here.
we're still trying to add content to it, but there's some articles in there on the history of the park. We're adding to that. Interesting pictures throughout the year.
Do you have your 501c3?
We do.
Okay.
Well, so fantastic. So what we would do then is we would recommend everybody who's local to the area, and even if you're not local, come on down, visit Smedley Park. It's a beautiful, beautiful park. New trails, new trail maps. And if you're a scouting organization, touch base with Friends of Smedley Park to find out what sort of scouting activities you can do. They've got plenty of tasks for service hours. They've got opportunities for eco projects, etc. So that said, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
TroopResource.org, trying to put 1,000 skills into every troop's backpack.